On November 15, 1976, the election of René Lévesque as Quebec's first separatist premier suddenly turned the Canadian political world upside down.
J'ai jamais pensé que je pouvais être aussi fier d'être Québécois que ce soir.
The PQ campaign song was Tomorrow Belongs to Us, which appealed to Jean-François Lisée, who joined the party as a 14-year-old student reporter. Now Lisée has been chosen as the new PQ leader and is trying to recapture the excitement of that time.
I mean, the symbolic power of just that win was so tremendous. And we saw, well, something has happened, something major has happened. It was really the dawn of a new period for Quebec.
While Jean-François Lisée went on to a career as a journalist and author,
Mes chers amis,
the PQ dream of independence was defeated in two referendums. The first in 1980,
si je vous ai bien compris, vous êtes en train de dire à la prochaine fois.
and then again by a tiny margin in 1995. Last month, Jean-François Lisée won the PQ leadership, promising to campaign in the next election only on a platform of good government, delaying any referendum until a second mandate.
Incroyable!
Now he is promising to abide by the rules of the recent Scottish independence vote, which would allow the federal government for the first time to have a say in determining the question and the rules, in exchange for accepting a 50% plus one vote as definitive.
Listen, there is a template to do these things correctly. The British with the Scots, they sat down together, they agreed in the rules, they agreed with the caps of spending, they agreed on the way to decide the question. The template is there.
You'd like to do it that way?
Absolutely, absolutely.
It is a big change.
La Presse columnist Vincent Marissel says that even dramatic changes in approach are unlikely to revive any desire in Quebec to have another referendum.
There's no appetite for this anymore. We've been through this. We had two referendums. That's a very emotional thing to do, two times, and both the no side won. So I think we don't have the fuel to go the distance again, doing again and over again this debate. And the main thing for the PQ is that the youth have turned their back on the sovereignty.
Why do you think that is?
I think they switched channel to something else, globalization, environment, fight for climate change. I think they're just elsewhere. I think that was the thing of their grandparents, actually.
The Parti Quebecois did itself great damage with non-francophone voters on the last referendum night, when Jacques Parizeau blamed the loss on money and the ethnic vote.
Par l'argent puis des votes ethniques, essentiellement.
At the time, Jean-François Lisée was a close Parizeau aide.
I wondered if I had to resign immediately or not. That was my first reaction. I thought we had made good strides in having a more diverse vote outside the Francophone majority. Our estimate is that 5% of the non-Francophone vote voted yes. 5%. That's a lot. And so my aim now as a leader is next time around to have 10, 15, 20% of the non-Francophone votes to be with us. And I think that's the way to go. I want to make sure that our party better represents Quebec's diverse reality of today and tomorrow in the 2 years to come. That's one of my great tasks.
But Lisée undercut his stated commitment to diversity during the recent leadership campaign, when he speculated about banning Muslim veils in public spaces and the possibility that Muslim women could hide machine guns under burqas.
Well, many people in Quebec, not only in the Parti Quebecois, they have fear about immigration. They don't feel comfortable with this, and they see what's going on elsewhere with ISIS, and at some point they make all kind of mix of all stories, and at some point they come to think that every Muslim is a terrorist. That's as simple as that, and as dumb as that. But at some point you have to play a higher role when you're politics. You have to take high ground and not say things like a woman can hide a machine gun in her burqa.
Do you understand that many Muslims would take that almost as hysteria, racist hysteria?
I understand that, but I know, we know for a fact that the RCMP or the CSIS believe there are 25 suspects close to the Islamic State in Quebec as we speak. There's been one attempt in Saint-Jean. There's been one attempt in Ottawa. There were students from Maisonneuve that were caught with explosives in Montreal. These are facts, you know. And so should we be prudent?
At the end of the day, I don't think Jean-François Lisée believes that for real.
Why?
It's populism. It's pure politics. Many politicians have ran their political career in Quebec with identity issues, and I think Jean-François Lisée just want to take bits and pieces of that just to score cheap political points. It might work at some point with some people.
The Parti Quebecois share of the popular vote has been relentlessly declining in recent elections, but it remains the most powerful opposition party. If the Couillard Liberal government here continues to stumble over corruption issues, Jean-François Lisée could well win power and put Quebec back on the path of confrontation with the rest of Canada. Terence, McKenna, CBC News, Montreal.